Hi everyone, welcome to Live Interactive English. This is Karen.
Hello everybody, this is Shane.
Today we're looking at part 1 of carbon dioxide, a necessary greenhouse gas. And the vocabulary words are necessary.
Necessary.
An eraser is a necessary item for all elementary students.
Dangerously.
Dangerously.
The swimmer didn't realize that she was dangerously close to a shark.
Dun, dun.
Oh my gosh.
Obvious.
Obvious.
It was obvious that Mark was wrong, but he refused to accept the truth.
Mark. Nearly.
Nearly.
Janet nearly won the race.
Aww. Schedule.
Schedule.
I am scheduled to leave for Tokyo tomorrow morning.
Oh, awesome. I heard it's really cool to go there in the autumn.
I know, that's right. But we're not talking about autumn in Tokyo now.
We're not.
We're talking about carbon dioxide.
Ooh, well, I think of CO2.
CO2.
I usually think of the harm it does to the ozone, to the environment, gives greenhouse effect, right?
So that means carbon dioxide is bad, right?
Well, it can be, but it's also very useful and quite good.
Really?
Well, think about where do you get lots of CO2?
I know. You can get CO2 in Coca-Cola.
Right? Soft drinks.
Yummy!
Right? So if we didn't have Coke and Sprite and those kind of drinks, and beer.
And also in fire extinguishers too.
Oh, right. So putting out fires. So if we didn't have that, then that wouldn't...
That would be a big problem.
Of course it would be, right? So why did it run out?
In the UK, right?
Usually they would get the CO2 from... It's a byproduct of making fertilizer. But all of those fertilizing factories or plants...
They were closed.
For maintenance.
That's right.
So they weren't producing any CO2.
I know. So it's actually causing a problem in the UK right now.
Bad planning. Okay, let's learn more about CO2.
All right, enjoy.
Carbon dioxide, a necessary greenhouse gas. Carbon dioxide, CO2, is a greenhouse gas that we have too much of in the air. However, not having enough CO2 can also be a big problem.
Welcome to Live Interactive English Magazine. Today's lesson is called Carbon Dioxide, a necessary greenhouse gas. Part 1. Hi everyone, my name is Jeff.
And I am Mike. Yes, we're talking about the environment, about the atmosphere, the air that we breathe. A lot of you who study science or follow the news have probably heard a lot about carbon dioxide. It's a part of our world, but in some ways it's becoming too big a part of our world, and it is responsible for global warming and some of the other environmental problems that we have. But as the article says, we can't just get rid of it because it's a necessary greenhouse gas. Tell us about this word necessary, Jeff.
I would love to. If something is necessary, everyone, you have to have that thing. That thing is needed. You can't do without this thing. By the way, the word necessary is an adjective. If you wanted to use this word as a noun, you could use the word necessity. A necessity is something that you have to have. But here the word necessary, like I said before, is an adjective. For example, an eraser is a necessary item for all elementary students. They have to have an eraser. Pencils, erasers, pens, these are necessary items for students, elementary school students.
All right. Well, the article begins by telling us a little bit about the role that CO2 or carbon dioxide plays. As we begin reading, it says carbon dioxide, CO2, is a greenhouse gas that we have too much of in the air. So CO2, this is the chemical name of carbon dioxide, and through the rest of the article, we will be calling it CO2 because that's easier. So we can see there that we have too much of it in the air. We have too much CO2 in the air. However, not having enough CO2 can also be a big problem. So you see how complicated this is. We have too much, but if we don't have enough, then we have a problem. It seems there's a very happy sweet spot of CO2 that we want to hit, and in the modern world, it's difficult to do that. Let's take a break, and we'll be back to learn more about CO2.
Hello， 大家好，我是 Hanny。今天的课文标题是 Carbon Dioxide, a necessary greenhouse gas。Carbon dioxide 是指二氧化碳，也就是 CO2。那么单字 necessary 它是用来形容必要的、必须的。刚刚 Jeff 老师说的 necessity， 它是拼作 necessity。necessity 是名词，它当不可数的话是表示需要，当可数名词的话是指必需品。好，至于 greenhouse gas 是温室气体。我们知道过多的温室气体呢是造成全球暖化的主因，二氧化碳就是含量以及影响最大的温室气体。那既然如此，为什么标题还要说二氧化碳是必要的温室气体呢？课文就提到啊，二氧化碳是我们空气中含量过多的一种温室气体。不过，二氧化碳不足也可能是个大问题。我们赶快回到课文里面看看是怎么一回事。
Carbon dioxide, a necessary greenhouse gas. This past summer, the United Kingdom's supply of CO2 ran dangerously low, reminding everyone just how many important uses this gas has. Some of these are obvious, like making drinks such as Coca-Cola and beer fizzy, and being used in fire extinguishers. CO2 has other surprising uses too. It can keep meats and vegetables fresh for longer, and help keep food cool while it is being transported.
CO2, everyone, carbon dioxide is a greenhouse gas, okay? But on the other hand, it's also a necessary gas. Too much is bad. Too little, though, too little of this gas can also be a bad thing as well. Get this. This past summer, the United Kingdom's supply of CO2 ran dangerously low, reminding everyone just how many important uses this gas has. So yes, up in the atmosphere in big amounts or quantities, CO2 is bad, but you can't run low either. You have to have some CO2. And the people in the UK, they know this now.
That's right. As it said, this past summer, or the summer that we're just finished, it had very little CO2. The United Kingdom had very little CO2. Their supply ran dangerously low. This adverb dangerously is very much like the adjective dangerous. Something that is unsafe or could hurt you is dangerous. If you are doing something in a way that is unsafe or could hurt you, you are doing it dangerously. Not looking both ways before you walk across the street is crossing the street rather dangerously. You might not see cars that could hit you. Or here's another example. The swimmer didn't realize that she was dangerously close to a shark.
Anyways, let's go ahead and move on. CO2, remember, is a necessary gas with many important uses. Some of these uses, some of these are obvious, like making drinks such as Coca-Cola and beer fizzy, and being used in fire extinguishers. Yes, CO2 is an important part of both of these things. When you carbonate Coca-Cola or beer, you make them fizzy. You put those small bubbles in there. Also, CO2 is fantastic at killing fires or putting fires out. That's why they're important, or why this gas is important in fire extinguishers. Now, here we've got the adjective obvious to talk about as well. If something is obvious, it stands out. You see it easily. You can't miss this thing, okay? So these uses are obvious. Everybody knows about them. Anyways, the word obvious is an adjective, and here's our example sentence. It was obvious that Mark was wrong, but he refused to accept the truth. So here, Mark was wrong. Everybody knew it, but he persisted. He kept saying this wrong thing.
Poor Mark. All right, well, back to CO2. Yes, the gas in our fizzy drinks, that psh sound that you hear, that's CO2. Also, fire extinguishers use CO2 to fight fire. But it also says CO2 has other surprising uses too. These ones you might not know about so well. It can keep meats and vegetables fresh for longer and help keep food cool while it is being transported. So when we get that nice fresh food at the supermarket with our beautiful unripened fruit and things like that, one of the reasons it looks so good and it stays fresh after we buy it when we bring it home is because of CO2. So less CO2, fewer fizzy drinks, more expensive fire extinguishers, and bananas with brown spots on them. Problems are developing. We're learning how important CO2 is, and we'll learn much more after this break.
刚刚说到二氧化碳是空气中含量过多的一种温室气体，可是二氧化碳不足也是个问题，量多量少都不行。刚刚 Jeff 老师用到一个名词 quantity， 它是拼作 Quantity， 那这个字可以用来指量或是数量。好，课文提到，今年夏天英国的二氧化碳供给危险不足。那这件事提醒了人们，二氧化碳其实有许多重要的用途，像是让可口可乐啊、啤酒之类的饮料可以有气泡，还有是使用在灭火器上面。那除此之外，二氧化碳也可以让肉类和蔬菜保鲜更持久，它也可以让食物在运输的时候可以保冷。先来看两个单字 ，dangerously。Dangerously 这个副词它表示危险地或是可能带来危害地。那么 obvious 这个形容词是形容明显的或者是显而易见的。单字例句里面提到说 Mark 他错了却拒绝接受事实， Jeff 老师说他很坚持。那么老师用到 persist 这个动词，它是拼作 Persist， persist 它有固执啊、坚持或是持续的意思。好，那么补充单字 fizzy 可以用来形容饮料是起泡的或是嘶嘶作响的，还有 fire extinguisher 就是指灭火器。接回课文中。
Carbon dioxide, a necessary greenhouse gas. If CO2 is so important, then how did this problem in the United Kingdom occur in the first place? The answer is much simpler than you may think. Much of the CO2 made and used in the United Kingdom is created as a byproduct at fertilizer plants. As luck would have it, nearly all the fertilizer plants in the country were scheduled to close for maintenance at around the same time.
Okay, before the break, we learned that CO2 has many important uses. But here's the question. If CO2 is so important, then how did this problem in the United Kingdom occur in the first place? Remember, the UK ran dangerously low on CO2, but if everybody knows how important and necessary this gas is, how did this happen? How did the people in the UK there run low on CO2?
It's a good question. And if CO2 is in the air, how do you run low on it? Isn't it free? Well, it says the answer is much simpler than you may think. So it's not some complicated chemical thing. There's a fairly simple reason why the UK was running out of CO2. Much of the CO2 made and used in the United Kingdom is created as a byproduct at fertilizer plants. So they're not getting CO2 out of the air, they're getting it as a byproduct of fertilizer plants. Fertilizers are those chemicals that farmers and gardeners might use to get their plants to grow up healthy and strong. A byproduct is something that comes through the process of making something, but it's not your main goal. It's some extra thing kind of on the side. So as they make fertilizer, CO2 is produced. I guess they capture it, probably in bottles, and that's the CO2
So there
that
you
ends
go.
up in our drinks.
So as long as you're making fertilizer, you're making CO2. It's an extra gas you make on the side, let's say, when you're trying to make fertilizer. But get this. As luck would have it, there in the UK, not too long ago, nearly all the fertilizer plants in the country were scheduled to close for maintenance at around the same time. So this was a stroke of bad luck. Remember, as long as you're making fertilizer, you're making CO2. But if all the fertilizer plants in the country close down for maintenance at around the same time, I think you guys know what's going to happen next. If they all shut down at the same time, there will be no CO2, which is a bad thing.
That was just really bad luck or bad planning. Fertilizer plants, here a plant is like a factory, so nearly all the fertilizer plants or factories were closed around the same time. Nearly, though, that's important. That adverb nearly is similar to almost. So if they had 200 fertilizer plants in the UK, 190 of them were all closed around the same time. Not the full number, not the full 200, but nearly or almost all of them. So nearly means almost, not quite, but very close. For example, Janet nearly won the race. She might have been 0.1 seconds behind. She came in second place. She nearly won, but missed it by that much.
Oh, that's too bad.
Poor Janet.
Also, we have the verb schedule to talk about here. First of all, let's talk about the noun schedule. A schedule is a document, maybe a piece of paper that looks like a calendar or something like that on your computer even. It's that thing, that document, that tells you what you need to do at a certain time. Oh, I'm going to go to the doctor. Let's go ahead and call the doctor and put that appointment on my schedule. Okay, that way you know when you have to go see the doctor, when and where you have to go see that doctor. Now, to schedule, okay, here we're using the word as a verb. To schedule is to put something on your schedule. Yes, if you're scheduling for something, you're planning for an event to take place at a certain time and a certain place as well. For example, I am scheduled to leave for Tokyo tomorrow morning. Yep, I've already put that on my schedule. All right, folks, with that, today's lesson is in the books, and it's time for us to say bye-bye.
既然二氧化碳有许多重要的用途，那为什么英国会发生二氧化碳严重短缺的问题呢？其实答案很简单，原来大部分在英国制造使用的这个二氧化碳都是肥料工厂制造的副产品 ，byproduct 就是指副产品。好，那么好巧不巧，就这么刚好，英国的肥料工厂几乎都安排在同样的时间关厂维修，然后就造成这个二氧化碳供给不足了。我们先来看两个单字。Nearly 这个副词它表示几乎或者是差不多。那么 schedule 可以当名词或当动词，当名词表示计划表、日程安排表，当动词就表示安排计划。那我们课文里面是用被动语态 be scheduled to 加上原形动词来表达说安排计划好要做某事。好，那么补充单字 fertilizer 它是指肥料。Maintenance 这个名词它有维修保养的意思。好了，那么以上是这些讲解，同学别走开，马上回来哦。大家好，我是 Hanny。在今天的课程中，我们要介绍4个文法重点。第一个是 past 做形容词，表示刚过去的。第二个是 something run low。第三个是 remind somebody of something。第四个是 in the first place 的不同意思。首先，我们来学习 past 做形容词，表示刚过去的。past 当形容词可以指刚过去的，那必须摆在名词之前，像 this past summer 表示今年的夏天， the past few months 表示过去几个月。例如 I spoke with Gina on the phone this past weekend. 我上周末有跟 Gina 讲电话。接下来 我们来学习 something run low。run 做连缀动词，表示变得或是变成。something run low 表示某事物不足，所剩无几，也可以用 run low on something 来表达。来看2个例句。Our stock of food is running low. 我们的食物库存快没了，所剩不多了。We're running low on paper towels. 我们的纸巾快用完了。接下来，我们来学习 remind somebody of something。动词 remind 是指提醒或是使想起。Remind somebody of something 表示提醒或是使某人想起某事。of 后方也可以接名词子句，那这时候 of 可以省略不用。来看2个例句。The painting reminds me of our trip to Vienna. 这幅画使我想起我们去维也纳的那趟旅行。The story reminds us how fragile life can be. 那则故事提醒我们生命有多脆弱。最后，我们来学习 in the first place 的不同意思。第一种是表达一开始或是当初，那常常摆在句尾。例如 Why didn't you tell us the truth in the first place? 你为什么不一开始就对我们说实话呢？第二种是表达首先或是第一，常常摆在句首或是句中。例如 I don't want to go because in the first place, I haven't finished my homework, and in the second place, it's raining outside. 我不想去的原因是：第一，我功课还没写完；第二，外面正在下雨。以上是这些重点整理，我们下次见喽 ！See you next time. Bye.
社群沟通必备的5个实用句。
欢迎收看就爱讲英文
我是悠悠，
我是 Jay。
现在网络社群媒介如此之发达，所以有很多的网络用语，我们一定要告诉大家，所以大家要记得不要听的这个不清不白、不清不楚。来看今天我们要教的
5个超实用的网络用语。1. Are you on Facebook? 2. Would you mind if? 3. Follow me on Instagram. 4. I unfriended him last night. 5. She has validation addiction.
首先，这个网络充斥在我们的日常生活当中，
是的。
所以我们常常第一句交朋友都会说。
你有在用脸书吗？加一下脸书好不好？好，这英文就是 Are you on Facebook?
Are you on Facebook?
你有在脸书上面吧？意思就是你有在用脸书吗 ？Are you on Facebook?
知道吗？一讲这个就知道他年纪超过30岁了。
是的，现在年轻人呢、都不用脸书了，
那都用什么呢？
他们都说，脸书那是我爸爸在用的，
是不是？
我不可以让他知道，
所以他们
我跟谁
都用了
出去，所以他们都用什么？
IG
或者是 Twitter，
Twitter
好，那 IG 的话怎么办？你要说 Are you on Instagram？
Are you on Instagram?
Are you on Twitter?
Are you on Twitter?
Are you on Line?
Line 他们也说 Line 是老人用的，气死人了。好，但如果有呢，下句就说，那我可以加你啊，
加一下，
加你
加个 Line。对，好，那介不介意加一下嘞？我们前面有礼貌一点好不好？Would you mind if？你介意干嘛干嘛吗？这样。
Would you mind if？
所以你介不介意我脸书加个好友
？Would
you mind if I add you on Facebook?
Would you mind if I add you on Facebook?
对，那你也可以
介
说。
意那就不用再讲了，好不好？如果要说 OK， 那就可以说呢，
就是 OK。就 OK 就好了，就加就给他你的Here's my account。
那还有那种
啊，
比如说你那个你加我 IG 追踪我，
对啊，那就 Follow me on Instagram。Follow
me on Instagram。
对，你就可以追踪我，我发什么照片你就看得到。Follow me on Instagram。Like， 对 ，like。
虚拟网络的好处跟坏处就是来得快去得快，对不对？所以朋友啊，情侣之间，哇，我跟你讲，如果吵翻了，隔天就删除解除好友。切八段，
这个年轻人懂吗？
不懂。
对，好，这个就是不跟他做好友了，解除好友，算是一个新的字。从 friend 这个字，friend 本来是名词朋友嘛，那这边变成动词哦。I unfriended him last night。
I unfriended him last night.
我昨天晚上呢解除跟他的好友关系，OK，所以呢这边 friend 本来是名词嘛，
对，
这边 unfriend 就是解除好友，
解除好友
那这边过去式就变 unfriended。
unfriended.
对，
但是也有很多人就网络成瘾，
是的
然后就过度依赖，然后他一直发，哇，
对
刷那个存在感，
没错，
很烦。
刷存在感，OK， 这个英文呢很妙，这叫做 validation。对
validation，
，validation 呢是认证的意思，就是认证认可。那很多时候你就是需要发个图片来这个骗按赞数，然后你就觉得哦有230万个赞，哦好开心，好开心这样。
230万个，你明星哦
对，
你。
所以这个时候呢，我们就可以说 She has validation addiction。
She has validation addiction.
Addiction 呢是成瘾上瘾。
好 addiction。
对，所以他刷存在感刷上瘾了。对，
哦，有时候真的很烦，尤其那种生完孩子啊，那种秀小孩照片，一直刷，哦哟，
哎呀，你不懂爸妈的心。
哦，很烦人呢，
很烦，对不对？你就可以说 annoying。
annoying。
对 ，annoying 可能还没有办法，对
不够
你非常，那你就要再加个副词上去，totally
Totally
annoying，
totally annoying，
整个烦，
整个超级无敌有够
对，
烦，一直刷一直刷。
搭配翻白眼，totally annoying。
来看今天的
Live action。
哦，Hey。
Yes。
Are you on Facebook? Would you mind if I add you on Facebook?
Sure. You can also follow me on Instagram.
Oh, how's your friend Jack?
Jack? Well, I unfriended him last night.
What happened?
He has validation addiction. Totally annoying. Totally annoying.
Oops. That's too bad.